So good day to everyone, and good to be here with you. And the topic continues to be for this week, Samadhi. Samadhi meaning usually translated as concentration. And one of the verbs associated with Samadhi is abiding, to dwell or abide in these different good qualities of Samadhi. And learning to abide is, is lingering, is residing in these states, as opposed to being in these states and striving or pushing or trying to have more. And the tremendous value of when we get settled, have landed here in the present moment and feel settled here, to learn how to abide in those states. And abiding is not a passive thing exactly, though there's very little doing, and it's very consequential, which I'll talk about later. So to abide also is to be receptive, to abide and allow the goodness of a particular state to nourish us, to penetrate into us. So, and a lot of Samadhi has to do with letting go. And so we could understand it a little bit as abiding in the goodness of letting go, abiding in the nourishment that happens when we let go. So we'll start this meditation, and we'll do this abiding and receiving of this nourishment or goodness of letting go, of relaxing. So to assume a beneficial meditation posture with some care, to take a posture that will allow you kind of a maximum amount of relaxation without falling asleep. A balance between remaining alert, but allowing for deep, in a sense, deep body work to happen as the meditation kind of begins penetrating into all the different corners of our muscles, and allowing for deeper and more thorough letting go. And to gently close your eyes. And without breathing deeply this time, just simply sitting here, I'll direct you to relax different parts of your body. And as those parts relax, linger a bit with whatever good feelings are there with having relaxed. Kind of let yourself take in, even if the good feeling is a kind of relief, a local relief of not being tense. Or maybe there's a pleasure. Allow yourself to abide and receive the good feelings that might come with relaxing. So on the exhale then, relaxing the shoulders. Releasing the shoulders, and perhaps there's a way to also release and relax the arms and the hands. So from the shoulders all the way down to the fingers. Relaxing, releasing, and then receiving whatever lingering good feelings are there with that, however mild or small. Relaxing the muscles of the face, And even if there's also uncomfortable sensations, for now, receive the comfortable ones, the pleasant ones, as you relax your face. As you exhale, relax the belly. Sometimes harder to feel good feelings with the relaxed belly, but maybe there are some that linger. Also in the legs, the thighs and the calves, all the way down to the feet. Is there the muscles there be released? And feel some nice, pleasant feeling of vitality or relief. And then bring your attention to your breathing. And as you breathe, as you exhale, see if you can relax your whole body on the exhale and feel whatever goodness comes from that relaxing. An opening, a softening, a settling. Perhaps more of a sense of flow and vibration in the body. And the exhale itself is a kind of letting go. Allow for the full letting go of the exhale. And not always easy to feel, but maybe you can feel some parts of the exhale, the release, the letting go, as a nourishment, as a good feeling. The exhale, part of the goodness of the exhale, is letting go of thoughts as you exhale. Letting go of thoughts and letting go into the body breathing. And whatever openness, receptivity there might be there at the end of the exhale, receive the inhale. Let go of your thoughts, your thinking, as you exhale. And allow yourself to feel how that might be good, feel good or pleasant. Do not be caught up in your thoughts and thinking. And abide, rest in the quiet and openness and receptivity of awareness in your body. that remains when you let go of your thoughts. And then as you inhale, in the abiding with the breathing, there can be also receptivity, an allowing of the inhale to arise. The inhale to arise in the vibrating, flowing, tingling vibration of the body. To abide and receive here in this body. And whatever letting go or relaxing you do, relaxing the body, relaxing the mind, releasing the exhale, whatever settling in that happens, feel and sense and abide in the good feelings that are associated. Reside in the goodness of it. Allow it to nourish you, to spread through you. Staying close to your breathing. With the letting go of the exhale and the allowing of the inhale. Each within the abiding here in the goodness, pleasantness, that is also here. letting go into receptive state, receptive with your body to the pulsing, vibrating, flowing, dynamic sensations of the body, allowing them, receiving them, where part of the goodness is the receptive state, is the simple abiding and receiving, and to feel the goodness of abiding, receiving this body breathing, letting the thinking mind become quieter so you can more fully abide and receive. to abide in whatever goodness, pleasantness, enjoyability there is here and now. And breathe within that. Breathe with that. Quietly, receptively. With an inner quietude that is sensitive, available, receptive. Simply to abide here and now. With whatever is here, not trying to make anything happen. Just abiding in whatever goodness is available. And as we come to the end of this sitting, to abide here in the present moment. For these last minutes to abide. Not to do anything or accomplish anything, but to be at rest or at ease in one's own skin and body. And whether you actually can do this well or not, you might just imagine yourself in a circumstance where you can just abide, just be rather than do. Some place where you feel comfortable and safe and settled. Where you have all the time in the world and no pressure. And in this state, in the privacy of your own mind and heart, let others, the presence of others, abide also here with you, so that others are abiding around you or with you without requiring anything of you, needing anything of you. And in this way, perhaps you can open up a kindness, a care, maybe even a love, goodwill, that it's almost not a doing, but more how the heart vibrates when nothing is needed and you feel safe, and you take in the humanity of another person. And without requiring anything that you do or say to the person, to people, can you gaze upon them kindly? Gaze upon them with goodwill. And may they and all beings be happy. May the people you think of and all others be safe and peaceful. May the people that you consider and all others be free. And may it be that the benefits of this meditation practice, in seen and unseen ways, intentional and unintentional ways, may those benefits spread out to benefit the people around you and the world around you. May the goodness of your meditation be for the welfare and happiness of all beings, yourself and all the rest. May it be that our meditation changes the world for the better. The 11th step of mindfulness of breathing is breathing in, one concentrates. Breathing out, one concentrates the mind. And so this relates to the whole topic of Samadhi in Buddhism, words often translated as concentration. And we're spending more days on this step because the Samadhi is such an important foundation for the final steps of mindfulness of breathing. And we don't want to rush through this. Ideally, you're kind of coming along a little bit, following just enough, getting a sense or a feel for what these steps are about, that you have some inner reference point for what we're doing as we continue going on. Even though the next steps are getting to very kind of more, classically are describing deeper and deeper states of meditation. These 16 steps are also relevant on well short of deep states of meditation. We kind of can go through them even in relatively ordinary states and recognize kind of little shifts that represent these different states. So I'm hoping there's enough, by going slow enough, that you can follow enough. So we're spending more time with Samadhi. And I've already said some of this, that the word in this 16 stages for concentrate has also been translated as steady. And I like to translate it as unify the mind, or steady the mind, or stabilize the mind. The word is samahadati, and the verb adati means to place something. So it's like placing the mind, or placing awareness on the object that we're focusing on. So placing it on the breathing. I love the expression landing, just landing on it, and just kind of gently landing, like a little helicopter, or a drone or something, or like a bird that comes in and just kind of, I guess it flies in, almost stops in the air, an inch or so above the ground, and then just lands on the ground. So we come right in there, we land, and settle, place ourselves. I'm very fond of using the word composure as this. We're composing ourselves on the breathing. And that Samadhi is an act of composing ourselves, because of the word pose also means to place or to stand someplace. So we're taking a stand and resting in there. And to settle, to steady, are all these words associated with Samadhi. And now Samadhi itself is often translated as concentration, but it more generally means meditation, or a state that we're in, a state of mind that we're in, that can be many different states where we're quite settled and steady and peaceful. And I wanted to read you a very early commentary from the Abhidhamma, a very early commentary, where it lists, it kind of defines Samadhi. And it's a wonderful definition, a whole series of little definitions. Samadhi means embracing. Samadhi means completion. Samadhi means single-pointed. Samadhi means unconfused. Samadhi means unscattered. Samadhi means undisturbed. Samadhi means unperturbed. Samadhi means liberation. And the next one is particularly nice, next series. Samadhi is seeking harmony. Samadhi is acquiring harmony. Samadhi is receiving harmony. Samadhi is grasping harmony, taking hold of it. Samadhi is entering harmony. Samadhi is going along in harmony. Samadhi is lightening up in harmony. Samadhi is being lit up in harmony. Samadhi is harmony, welfare, and happiness. So I think it's a wonderful list. And this idea of harmony, or evenness, or balance, the word is sama, S-A-M-A. And so you get a very different feeling for samadhi from these kinds of descriptions than you would if you just told that samadhi is one-pointedness of mind. And when you talk about these absorption states, jhana, which sometimes the way that they're talked about, they have the intensity and a kind of laser idea, and people really try hard to get into it, not really realizing a big part of this samadhi is letting go, relaxing, settling deeper and deeper and deeper. And then, but for these jhanas, these absorption states, the verbs related to them are entering the states and abiding in them. And this idea of entering I think is a beautiful image, that we're not looking to zero in, we're not looking to force ourselves to be a state, but rather we're kind of entering into, and I like to think of entering into a sacred area, a sacred piece of land or a temple, where we enter into with some reverence and respect and care. And how we enter is an important part of the entering. And then the two verbs are to enter and to abide. It means that we take time just to linger in those states, to reside in those states. In whatever kind of samadhi states or good states or nourishing states there are, we abide in them so that we can be conditioned by them. There's a reconditioning process that happens through meditation, that we're allowing ourselves to, life as we go through can condition us in all kinds of negative ways. And meditation is to undo that. The conditioning that comes from greed, hatred, and delusion is very different than the condition that comes from generosity and love and wisdom. And so some people have even said that samadhi is kind of a reparenting. If parenting didn't go so well for us growing up, it has the very deep and profound impact on us too, if we allow ourselves to be nourished by it, which requires abiding in it, dwelling in it, so that we really can let the goodness of these states really seep in and affect us. And if we're in a hurry to get more and more concentrated, we're not going to allow the nourishment to really recondition us and open us and soften us in a way that's useful in the path of liberation. And I thought I would also read to you a list of the things that Buddha talks about that he encouraged people to abide in. So he's not just saying, in modern United States, there's often discussion about being rather than doing, and meditation is a chance just to be. I don't think the Buddha would quite say it that way. Rather than being, he talks about abiding, maybe very closely related, just abide. But he's always talking about abiding in something that's wholesome and good, not just being angry, or fuming. If you just abide in that, maybe has a negative impact if that fuming and resentment and anger just kind of simmering along in some way. So that's a whole different topic about and how to be wise with things like anger. But for the Buddha, it's abiding. So here's these states of abiding the Buddha talks about. Abiding in safety, abiding in fearlessness, abiding in a mind free from the hindrances, abiding in equanimity, abiding in contentment, abiding in pleasure, abiding in happiness and gladness, abiding in happiness without moving the body or uttering a word, abiding in loving kindness, abiding in compassion, abiding in a mind-like space, abiding in the Dharma, abiding observing impermanence, abiding in stillness, devoted to a pleasant abiding here and now. Samadhi states Buddha often describes as a pleasant abiding here and now. And then abiding in the four foundations of mindfulness. And it's very significant that the word is abiding in the four foundations. It doesn't say practice the four foundations of mindfulness. It says abide in them. Abiding in bliss. Abiding in emptiness. Abiding in peaceful liberations. Abiding in the supreme goal. So to abide, one has to be patient. I think of abiding as being very closely akin to being in a receptive state. So we abide, we're patient, we're not in a hurry. And we receptive state to feel the goodness of all these states, all these ways of being that can happen. And so we're talking here now about the 11th step of Anapanasati. So of course, when we sit down to meditate, there are times when these are not available, and we are angry, we are agitated. And to sit down and say, just sit there and abide in these good feelings, just simply doesn't work. And so we learn to practice with the first steps of Anapanasati that really support us in the challenging states of being that we can have in daily life. But as the meditation proceeds, then at some point, what I'm calling today the goodness, the nourishing feelings, the beneficial feelings, sensations that are here, the Buddha encourages us to abide in them. And then when they arise in Samadhi, in these states of harmony, settledness, steadiness, unification, that we really now we're really here in the present moment and really feel that in the present there's a kind of harmony and joy and well-being, gladness. All these possible different flavors of the goodness that might be there. Whatever the flavor is of the day, there's also a very important place to abide in it, to receive it, to let it nourish you and fill you and let it kind of penetrate and permeate yourself in some way. And So to dwell in these states is not to be thinking about them. It's not be seeking and planning and expecting and wanting and holding on to things. It's just simply abiding, just allowing them to be there and just kind of basking in it or enjoying it and breathing with it, breathing through it. Now this mindfulness of breathing the reference point is always breathing in and breathing out. So we're always kind of using that as a support, as a guide, as a grounding, as a pointer, as a way of staying in these different steps. And so now we're staying, breathing, abiding in these states, abiding in the present moment, in the pleasant state here and now. So the word in Pali is viharati. It comes related to the word vihara, meaning a monastery, a place where monks and nuns reside. And so you might, for the rest of the day, next 24 hours, have this word abide or abiding, viharati, vihara, as something you keep close by. Maybe you write it on a sticky note and have it with you or have it posted some places. And see when in the day it's beneficial for you to pause and abide with what's happening. And especially when there's a goodness or something nourishing and you abide and really take it in. Learn to abide and learn to be nourished by your abiding states. So thank you, and we'll continue with this Samadhi for a few more days until we get to the 12th step, which is liberating the mind. So And that's, only the 12th of the 16. So thank you all very much.